Welcome back, America. We're here with our friend Peter Schweizer, one of the great investigative reporters. And nobody has done more to expose the Joe Biden crime family than Peter Schweizer over the years, with his writings, his books, his appearances, among other places here on this program. And Peter, there you watch as Joe Biden systematically undertakes the greatest cover-up really in governmental history, a senator, vice president, president. People used his office, his name, his position to make millions, to shake down foreign governments, even enemy foreign governments. And then he pardons his son, which effectively is pardoning him. And then you have these preemptive pardons of the immediate family. Must be fun at Thanksgiving. The next Thanksgiving, they're all going to stand there and they'll sit around with a turkey and they'll thank God that Papa Bear pardoned all of them. What do you make of this? You, more than anybody else, should have a very fulsome view of this. Yeah, Mark, I think that these pardons are the single most corrupt acts of any American president in U.S. history. And I don't say that lightly. I say that because what we're talking about is a level of corruption that involved tens of millions of dollars going to the Biden family and what the sources of those funds are. This is not some, paving contractor back in a congressional district paying off a congressman. That's bad enough. These are foreign governments. These are foreign adversaries. And the problem is that the Bidens have now globalized corruption. They've created a situation where American politicians can effectively be bought off by our foreign adversaries. And that's what happened with the Clintons. I'm sorry, that's what happened with the Bidens. The three countries were China, Russia, and Ukraine, all of which are highly corrupt, all of which who wanted something from Joe Biden as vice president as president, and who got those things from this president. And you're quite right to point out that these pardons are of his family, but they are effectively a pardon of him. Because there is really no way to investigate or to prosecute Joe Biden for this influence peddling scheme if all the family members who he did it with are now let off the hook legally, which is what these pardons do. It's not that he thinks Donald Trump will come after them. It's that he knows they're corrupt, isn't it? And haven't you written chapter and verse on this corruption, the millions of dollars that have flowed into the Biden crime family? Yeah, you're exactly right, Mark. I mean, let's look at the timeline, and we talked about this first. The first place when I published my book, I came on your show and we talked about this back in 2018, is the timing is clear. So in January of 2009, Joe Biden is sworn in as Vice President of the United States, and literally 3 months later, Hunter Biden sets up an international financial firm and starts doing business. I'll put that in quotation marks in the most places on the planet, China, Russia, and Ukraine. And the money starts to flow. And it's important to point out, by the way, Mark, that these pardons are very specific. They begin with any crimes that might have been committed from January 2014 going forward. And that is precisely the month when the money starts to flow from China, Russia, and Ukraine. They get tens of millions of dollars from Chinese entities that are close to the Chinese state that are also linked to Chinese intelligence. In the spring of 2014 is when he agrees with Burisma, this Ukrainian energy company, corrupt energy company. He takes in millions from them. And this is the same time that Russian oligarch, Yelena Baturina, sends $3.5 million to Hunter Biden. Those things all happen at that period of time. So these are the deals that have taken place. Joe Biden was the point person on policy towards China. He was a point person under the Obama administration on Ukraine policy. And guess what? Both of those countries, people were sending the Bidens millions of dollars. So he pardons his family members, preemptive pardon, abuses that power. There's simply no question about it. We've never seen anything like this before. He pardons his son after months and months of saying he would not pardon his son. He realizes that they're going to be on the hook if there's a serious investigation into the Biden crime family. But doesn't that also tell us another thing, Peter Schweizer? And I want you to address this as soon as we return, that he was very comfortable. He felt protected with Merrick Garland at the helm of the Department of Justice. With the U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C., with the head of the Criminal Division of the Department of Justice, he felt very comfortable that, despite all the corruption and the graft and all the rest, that Department of Justice would never investigate him while he was president, but he did unleash it against his political opponent. And I want to get into that when we come back. Everyone, I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.